West Virginia Association of Realtors had what I think was a very successful legislative session this year. We had 5 pieces of legislation involving various transfer taxes, which we opposed. We don't always oppose transfer taxes unless as long as we feel that it's a proper use of the money. In this instance, one of the bills impacted the Eastern Panhandle by funding correctional facilities and drug rehabilitation centers in the area. We oppose this particular piece of legislation because while that may be a worthy cause, we don't believe that funding those facilities should be on the backs of home buyers. That's why we oppose that particular piece of legislation. Also had a piece of legislation that would require all licensing boards to exempt from continuing education any licensee that has held their license active for 20 consecutive years. We oppose that as a blanket concept simply because we believe that it should be the choice of each and every individual licensing board who they can exempt from continuing education. The bill was successfully amended to allow the licensing board that opportunity, and then the bill was successfully passed. For those of you in the property management business, there's some changes in the law impacting and affecting rental properties as it relates to carbon monoxide detectors. We'll be sending something out on that as soon as the legislation actually takes effect, but the legislation is very similar to previous bills that have dealt with smoke detectors. So it will just include having to have some carbon monoxide detectors in your rental properties and new builds as well. Finally, the one piece of legislation that we have been advocating for a number of years, the background check legislation for licensees, passed one house but was stopped in the second due to simply running out of time. However, in the meantime, while we still advocate the Real Estate Commission offering background checks for their licensees and potential licensees, we now believe that the Real Estate Commission can do this on their own without additional legislation or legislative authority, and we have submitted a brief to the Real Estate Commission on how we believe that can be done. We still support the concept, but hopefully now we can do it through the Real Estate Commission as opposed to legislation.